Hey, I'm Mel. I'm a DJ and multidisciplinary artist based in Naarm. My DJ name is Flat Esoteric, and I play mainly dark, deep, experimental techno. Started in 2018 when my friends and I were going out a lot, going to heaps of gigs. I guess I was inspired by a lot of the things that I was seeing at the time. Yeah, me and my friends all we downloaded like a DJ app. So we were literally like DJing on a little iPhone. And then after that, one of my friends bought like a mini tractor controller, and it sort of just had the 3 EQ knobs. So I was borrowing that heaps, using it to kind of play at house parties and stuff. And heaps of people would be like, you should do this for real. And so I now do it for real. My gateway into electronic music was definitely around the time, I would say I was like 18 years old. I got really into Ed Banger records, and in particular this one artist called Mr. Wazo, who's one of my biggest inspirations, and it's kind of where my DJ name comes from as well. He's like a French electronic producer, and he has this puppet, and it's called Flat Eric, and my name is kind of like, it's like a reference to that. I started Soft Launch mainly because it was sort of like a way of me combining a couple of my interests in the one place. It was an opportunity for me to do like small scale design projects, and then kind of combine it with like my interest in music as well. Soft Launch to me is about finding really interesting kind of artistic venues and then combining that with music, because I'm a very like spatial thinker, and I think that the space and the music together like have a lot of, I don't know, like power. I'm definitely thinking a lot about the programming. We've only thrown one. Prior to this, we threw like another kind of, I say we because I did with other people, and it was called Order Out. And basically the concept for that was to throw it in like a small kind of shopfront gallery, and we had our friend who is a chef cook for 100 people, and that would sort of be paired with like a course. So it would be like entrees, and then someone's playing a set, and the chef is cooking at the same time. And it was this real kind of like, there was a lot of theatrics in it as well, I would say. And yeah, Soft Launch is sort of like, it's an evolution of that. I feel like what we were doing in that project was very, it was music oriented, but it was like food oriented as well. But I kind of want it to go in a more music direction, and like I don't really want it, like I don't want my thing to have anything to do with food, I guess. Going back to your question about programming, like yes, I think really hard about like who I'm putting on the lineup. For the last Soft Launch, all of the artists are local artists that I really appreciate and look up to, and I think all of them have an amazing sound, and so Soft Launch is sort of, I guess, gives me an opportunity to like showcase that sound. I have an Area 3000 show called Six Ad Social Club, which is a reference to the TV show Daria. It was just this kind of silly idea, really, where I wanted to have like artists and socialites. The aim of the show is to sort of give people an insight into Naarm's electronic scene. So I interview artists, and then they usually put together a mix, but then I also interview socialites who are it's pretty much just people on the dance floor. And then they invite an artist of their choice to the show. So I think it's like a nice way of like, you know, like, yes, the scene is about the artists, but without the people on the dance floor, then it's not a scene. So I feel like it's important to sort of give those people a platform as well. My creative process is, yeah, it's like I'm a person that likes a lot of structure, and so I plan a lot. When we're talking about like putting together a set, I am a huge planner. I would love to be the type of person that just rocks up and, you know, plays and reads the room, but to be honest with you, like, yeah, I'm just a huge planner. So I guess a huge part of my process is finding inspiration. And like, I usually find that from within. I'm a very like insular, internal kind of person. But when I'm experiencing a block, which is pretty often, I need to find inspiration from the outside. And usually that's literally just like, you know, it involves me going to a gig, hanging out with a creative friend, going to a festival, etc. And then coming back to my workstation and being able to create something. I feel like it changes from week to week. Right now, I'm into kind of really sort of like, very like deep sort of almost like disgusting sounds, like sounds that sound like sewage. I don't know. That like, just like gross sounding things. That's kind of like what I'm drawn to at the moment. Like literally in this week, I've just been listening to tracks with like, just like heaps of this sound as I've been putting together this set actually. So it might come through in the set. But yeah, I feel like that's what I'm drawn to at the moment. This one's an interesting one. Like, I feel like I really want to say yes to this. I'm mixed race. I'm half Filipino and half Italian, but I was born and raised here in Naarm. So yeah, my cultural identity has always been like a bit of a blur. I just feel like I exist in this kind of weird middle ground between being white, which I obviously benefit from, and then also being a person of color. So going back to your question, like, do I draw inspiration from my culture? I'm not going to say no, but I would definitely say that I am fairly unconscious of it at the moment, and I'm sort of working towards becoming more conscious of it. I was always into music. Yeah, definitely. So I feel like when I was a teenager, I was definitely listening to like a lot of pop music. And then as soon as I turned 18, that's kind of like obviously discovered Ed Banger Records, Mr. Wazo, and then that was when I started to develop my music taste. But yeah, definitely in my early 20s, I was listening to like, you know what, I was obsessed with Crystal Castles. Like, when I was 19, that's like all I listened to for the whole year. I like only listened to Crystal Castles. But yeah, outside of that, I was listening to a lot of like indie rock, I guess, which is like really random for me. Like that's like so against me today. Broadly speaking, my experience as a POC femme has definitely been difficult. I feel like we're, you know, often seen as there are stereotypes attached to being femme and POC. Like, people think we're subservient, passive, incompetent, and it makes our lives really difficult because what it means is we have to work 5 times harder than everyone else to get to the exact same place. So yeah, that kind of sucks. There's so many things I love about the scene. I feel like I go to a lot of parties that are sort of, I don't know, like femme queer oriented, and being in that environment, sort of being able to like blend in, I guess, is like a really nice thing. It sort of enhances sense of belonging. Whereas like, I guess previously when I was going out, I was sort of occupying a lot of like white male dominated spaces and felt really singled out and would just be approached by like weirdos all the time and like I don't really experience so much of that in like the spaces that I occupy now. So like that's one thing that I love about the scene, and everyone is just so friendly, to be honest. Like everyone's really creative, doing really cool things. I'm inspired by everyone, and yeah, everyone's really welcoming, and I think those are all the things that I love about the scene. I kind of want to answer a really good question, but it's just like, because there's definitely things that I want to see a change in the scene. Like the spaces I occupy are diverse, but I guess like they still kind of feel a little bit white. Like there's always room for more like diversity in that respect. Parties with a BIPOC crowd are always way more fun and the energy is better. I guess what I'd like to see is that kind of diversity across the board, like not just at these specific parties. Yeah, that's maybe how the scene could improve. Vesa, who I'm really into, who's like a hardware girly, which I think is really cool. I feel like there's definitely women doing hardware stuff, but like I haven't really seen too much of it, so it's really cool to see. Yeah, like a woman of colour. So my next episode of Six Sad Social Club comes out on the 6th of October. One of my upcoming gigs will be at Miscellanea on the 18th of October for Night Shop, and it'll be my first time playing at Misc. Never played there before, so yeah.